Welcome to a Trekzone conversation. Matt Miller with you. I'm so excited to bring today's guest back onto the show. 2 months since he first appeared this year and said that there was a fan film coming, Aaron Vanderkley is back.
On Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and YouTube for over 550 episodes. This is a Trekzone conversation.
Aaron, welcome back to Trekzone, my friend. Thanks for beaming in this morning. Some exciting news for you as you're progressing through Beyond the Sun.
Yes, so on Friday, Saturday and Sunday, last Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we completed principal photography of the short film. So it was a 3-day shoot, all in a row. It was very exhausting. I don't think I've worked harder in my life before. But it's all in the can, it's all done, and keep progressing through.
It is incredible. So just those 3 days to make the whole fan film?
Yeah, so
to
usually
film it, at least.
in the past, I would produce on consecutive weekends just because everyone's availabilities. We have often lots of big sets which we need to turn around in a very small space. So it's better to pace it out. And certainly for Line of Duty, we shot that. There was 5 shooting days and we pretty much shot that over 2 months. It was very pacey. It wasn't very pacey, and it was manageable. Whereas this one, because of availabilities and especially because of the COVID situation, because here we thought we were fine, and then all of a sudden we went into a snap week lockdown. And so I was also a bit worried that might happen again. So as quick as we could get it done, we got it done.
Yeah, and a long weekend certainly helps as well for availability, making a fan film. So you had the 3-day weekend to get everything done. As you say, it was busy time, but did you get everything done with relative ease?
Yeah, there was a few hiccups along the way. We had a few people drop out of the project the week before, the night before, on the day, or didn't tell me at all. So that was a little bit stressful because everyone that's already doing 50 million jobs has to take on an extra job or has to become an extra, to the point actually where my parents became extras.
Yes!
With lower numbers. So yeah, I'm sure they were thrilled.
Thank goodness for parents,
but yes. Actually, my dad was really quite excited, and he added bits and pieces to his extras costume. Because he was that excited. So there you go.
Thanks, Dad.
But yeah, so apart from that, on the second day, one of our actors had a car breakdown, so that sort of pushed us back. So everything that could potentially go wrong sort of went wrong, but we got it all done. You know, we may have been running an hour or two behind, but we finished an hour or two early. So.
And having said all of that, Aaron, and I can imagine just how stressful that whole situation would be, do you regret getting back into Star Trek fan filmmaking at all?
Oh, not at all. I think it was, I needed that gap. I really needed that break because I really did feel burnt out from doing the 5. And yeah, no matter how far apart I could space them apart, I still felt that burnout. So it was nice to have some time away to have a think and to recharge. And also, I think like we spoke about last time, not being able to do something with COVID really makes you want to do it. And that sort of reignites the passion. And that's kind of what happened with Beyond the Sun. So yeah, I'm thrilled that it's done. It from in camera, it looks really great. It looks really different. All the guys that have worked on it have said, you know, this may be your best one yet. It's much more sort of intellectual TNG conversation type story as opposed to the action based Enterprise ones. Stephen, my first AD, was like, wow, this is weird that, you know, no one's running down corridors and, you know, there isn't all this action based stuff. It's people literally sitting around a table having a conversation about ethics and morals and religion and faith and science. So yeah, it's different and it looks different, and yeah, I'm really excited.
And that kind of allows you to flex your filmmaking muscles as well. Having such a static scene kind of gives you the ability to get creative and find ways to show that story and tell that story in a way that's going to hold the audience. Any sort of creative tricks that we can look forward to?
I think more. I've been listening to the Delta Flyers podcast with Robbie Duncan McNeil and Garrett Wang, and McNeil always talks about the production side of things because he was shadowing directors at that time. He hadn't started directing himself yet, and the way he talks about the production of Voyager, the types of lenses they use, the policy that they had that if actors aren't moving, the camera needs to move. All those types of little insights were really helpful. And also watching an episode of Voyager and how a scene is constructed, especially in the briefing room. This is more of a TNG style where there's a lot of there's always a single of the captain, there's a 2-shot of the aliens and their aide, and then there's 3-shot or 4-shot of everyone else on the briefing room table on the other side. So it's probably more like that. But it's just trying to get into that style of sort of 4x3 90s Star Trek. So that's what we've tried to replicate in this. So that's what interests me, and that's what I find exciting.
And once again, returning to the garage, the famous garage that I got to visit for the fall of Starbase One, bumping those sets in, moving stuff around over 3 days. Nice logistical challenge to have. How did the sets fare through it all?
It was exhausting. I was lucky when we had our snap lockdown that I was locked down with my partner, so we were able to bash out all these sets over sort of 7 days, which was great. And so I think we must have learned from previous experiences because all the sets sort of fitted in and there was room to move around, which is often not the case. However, so it was, we'd finish filming, we'd do an 8-hour shoot, and then we'd have to bump out the set, and then we had to bring in a new set for the next 8-hour day. So it was a long, stressful time. But on the last day, because you're so tired, you're like, we'll just leave everything, out the back, and we'll take it apart in the morning. Like, it'll be fine. And then Perth went through a sudden snap winter week of storms, lightning, thunder, and rain, and so about 5 of the set pieces got totaled. So that was a shame. Some of them were coming apart anyway, so it wasn't a too great a loss. But so we weren't expecting that, and that happened. So.
Well, it's funny you have snap COVID lockdowns, and then you have snap weather events. It seems that and car breakdowns and all sorts of stuff. It just seems that. Everything's there to try and test you and see how far your resolve is going to hold out. Does it?
I think Perth saw the rest of the world and thought, we can do this in a week. We can do it.
Bring it all in.
That's right. Yeah.
Does it delay you at all for the next fan films with the loss of these set pieces?
Not at all. Next one's going to be on location, so there is no worries about set for that. But the one after that, I mean, it would have been nice to keep the sort of corridor set, but there's not much we can do about that. But I sort of haven't really decided what I'm going to do for number 3. I have a vague idea, but not a concrete, so it hasn't really affected us at all.
You can always just write in a line of dialogue about how the ship got retrofitted at Starbase 37. And that'll solve any inconsistencies. Obviously, post-production now, what's the sort of time frame that you're looking at to get this cut and hopefully out to the world?
Well, I'm going on holidays next week, so
far more important.
I'm not going to think about it.
Far more important.
Yes, I'm gonna step away. I actually find it is good to take a week away from after shooting to come back to it fresh. I've done that through all the previous films, so I intend to do that for this one as well. But I'm going to enjoy my holiday, and then I'm going to come back. And usually takes us about 2 months to turn it around. Sam Cockings is doing some visual effects for us. So depending on how that all comes together, and and how the edit comes together and the color grade and the sound mix and all that.
It is really cool that Sam is jumping on board to do visual effects. The go-to guy for visual effects of Star Trek fan films, as we've talked to him about in the past. So really looking forward to how everything comes together. Congratulations on getting principal photography done. Despite everything, you've made it, and now you can take your lockdown haircut and your beautiful partner and have a holiday.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.
Aaron, it's always fun to have you on Trekzone. Looking forward to having you back as Beyond the Sun gets further down the production pipeline. So we will catch you again real soon. Thanks for being here, man.
See you later.